Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Kat Timpf Show. Today, my guest is someone super important to me. It's my friend from DC. We've been friends for a while, Sara Armour.
Hey, everybody.
She's a comedian and she's a life coach.
Mm-hmm.
And she's judging me for getting up and going to cycling class at 5:45 this morning.
I'm not even judging as much as I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm more like, when I met Kat, you have to understand, when I met Kat, she had just moved from California to DC. I think she was living on a yoga mat, and she was doing things specifically to not spend money in public. So maybe, so I don't think I think liquor store, but like,
yeah, a lot of that.
A lot of liquor store, but like, it was like, if I had invited you to spin, you would have been like, no way. I put the bike under 2 bricks in my house and I just used the bike in my house. Like, you were finding DIY ways to be real frugal.
I know.
You're a new woman.
I know, and I had never exercised. I don't know and I have a manicure, like you're saying. I used to have the scraggly.
She has you can't see. We could post a picture of it. She has the most beautiful,
yeah,
sparkle nails.
I have sparkle nails. I know. It's like
she's elegant, and she's in a beautiful blue dress, and it matches a Bud Light can.
I am drinking Bud Light, so I haven't changed completely.
No. I mean,
I was offered a Bud Light. I always
no?
say yes. You have to say yes.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's funny to me, you're a life coach, but it's, you live an alternative lifestyle.
Well, I'm not, I think that you can agree. I'm not a typical life coach.
No.
I'm like a YOLO life coach. I'm a pro-drug, make big choices life coach, and you learn from those experiences. We wouldn't have material unless we were making bad choices. So I'm not against bad choices. I'm actually for bad choices.
Yeah.
And then you grow from the bad choices, and then you write a memoir, and then you have a book, you have an act. You can do a lot with bad choices.
Yeah, I know. I really think bad choices are also fun. I've made plenty of them.
Bad choices. It's not even, because even a good choice doesn't really protect you.
Right.
I mean, I've made some good choices too, and either I've been bored out of my mind or
yeah, I'll take a bad idea over a boring one any day.
Not a question.
And because it's like, it's like if like there's a guy you shouldn't be talking to and he texts you and you're like, I'm going to be like super alpha female and say no. But then it's like, yeah, but then I'm just going to sit here.
Right. Well, right. There's no like, I mean, I think that as long as you're not doing anything that hurts your soul or anybody else's, like, because even if you hurt other people, it's like you can't, you don't want to deeply wound yourself or anyone else. But as long as you're having fun and you're experimental and you're growing, I don't think there are any bad choices.
Sarah's very, very spiritual.
Yeah, I'm very spiritual, but it's like very like, it's like whatever works for you. If you tell me that your phone is how you feel connected to God, then like I'm totally down for that. I totally am. If you say Bud Light helps me get closer, then I'm like, great, have another
to God.
One. Yeah, then have another Bud Light.
So, like, what do you think happens when you die?
Well, it's a very good question because I don't know if we can talk about. I've been talking to your mother all the time.
Yeah, she says she talks to my dead mom all the time.
Kat's mother died, and I was very close to Kat's mom.
Yeah, it's true.
And sometimes when I go into like meditation, I've been doing a lot of. This is too much. I don't know if Barstool really knows about twin flames, but
I have no idea what the hell that is.
Okay, you're gonna die. Okay, so there's this whole culture online about twin flame relationships, okay? And these are soul relationships. According to some twin flame internet research, twin flames are born in the same soul, and then they split apart, and they find each other again in life, and then they trigger each other big time and bring up all of each other's issues, and then they work through them, and either they work through them separately or together, right? So I've been going through a breakup for like 3 years.
Yeah, you've been breaking up with this guy for 3 years.
A really long time, which makes me feel like definitely my twin flame, So I've been doing a lot of twin flame meditation and trying to, like, even though we're not talking on the human level, I've been trying to talk to his soul. But sometimes your mother will pop in.
Yeah.
And I'm doing soul meditations to try to just, and even in my soul meditations, sometimes my lover is like, please, this is overwhelming. The smother mother in the soul realm also is not cool, but sometimes your mother will come in and I'll talk to her.
How's she doing?
She's great. She's really proud of you. She's really proud of me, although she does think I need to get a job. And but she's always around. I think what happens after you die is you hang out like kind of as a ghost or a spirit for a while, and then I think you reincarnate. I think your soul goes into another thing, and I think it could be like an ant though. Like I don't think it's necessarily another person.
Yeah.
But I think that like souls can like kind of plop into anything.
I feel like you just die.
Well, I mean that's for sure.
I just think you die, but I'm like, I don't think I'll care because I'll be dead. You know?
I'm gonna say something real corny, but I actually mean it. I think that love keeps people alive. You know, I mean, even
I'd be dead by now.
Here's the thing. No, because I love you. No, here's the thing. Like, okay, this is a little, maybe I'm off, but even outside of this room, like nothing exists but you and I right now, right?
Yes.
I mean, things
And Bud
technically
Light.
exist other places. Right? We got a Bud Light, we got a seltzer, I have tons of bags, we have all the stuff in this room, right? But nothing else actually exists in this room. So if we were to think about someone who's alive versus someone who's dead, they're both here in the same capacity. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I guess, but it's different. Have you ever given somebody like bad advice?
All the time. Are you kidding me?
As a life coach, you just give them like you'll call, you'll do whatever, or anybody, you give them advice and you're like, oh shit, that was bad news.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, it depends on what you think bad is. Most of my clients don't come to me already doing drugs, and I prescribe pot to everybody, basically. I think everybody needs to get a little bit stoned and then go from there. I mean, a lot of my clients are very uptight, very like just unhappy, and nitpicking about these tiny details, anxiety points or fear points, and it's like, hey man, smoke a joint. Depends on what your gender is, but like watch Beyonce Lemonade and eat an edible, and then express all of that.
Yeah.
Cry.
Sometimes you'll tweet things and they make no sense.
Oh, I'm really bad online.
Yeah.
I'm really, really bad online. Bad advice too. I argue for staying in relationships that are toxic. So I think that's probably the worst advice I always give. Yeah.
You really do, which is what I like about you.
I really do.
Because if I'm ever doing something, like if I'm still talking to somebody that I really should not be talking to, I can tell you and you're like, it's fine. It's your journey.
It's all perfect.
Yeah, it's all good.
I think that's the big key, right? So with all decision making, the crux of it is just the idea that it's all perfect, right? So like if you remove any judgment, if you remove this idea of right or wrong or should or shouldn't, and just see it as a journey, and you make a series of choices which leads you through your journey, it's actually all perfect. Even the bad decisions you make, like haven't you made quote unquote bad decisions that have actually turned into the best opportunities?
That's true. Absolutely. What's the worst decision you've ever made?
Oh, that's really hard. I mean, I would say just like every single day. I would say every single day when I overdraft on seltzer. Like it's like a day. It's more of a small. I mean, I overdraft.
That's
every
the most
single day
Jewish
right now.
thing. Like,
oh yeah, I'm struggling. But I only buy like very expensive cosmetics. Very expensive. I sleep in satin sheets. But like
I sleep in whatever. I still just
right. Which is why you have sparkle nails right now, and I literally overdrafted on this manicure for an audition last week. So I would say money management is probably my worst skill. But otherwise, I've made really bad. I mean, all the sex without condoms.
Yeah.
Always. I mean, I don't think I don't know.
Yeah. What's a condom?
Kidding.
No, it's bad. That's
you
rough.
should use a condom.
It's always just like, I mean, like it makes you freak out maybe a little more. Do you not freak out?
Well, Kat, you know what freaks me out? Putting rubber in my body. How's that for a justification?
That's a good job.
I mean, bad decisions, definitely. Like, I crashed my ex-boyfriend's car like 4 times, so that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And one time I was smoking a bowl while I was driving, so that was a bad one.
But you didn't get caught.
The car was totaled, so no one was even asking about it.
No one was like, was you smoking weed?
No, I mean, they would have known. Had the car not been totaled, they would have known I was smoking weed. But it was such a bad accident that it was just like, whatever, get her out of the car.
So that was one of the times where the journey that the car was totaled, which normally people would think was worse, was really the right thing.
Well, I got some funny material out of it. Really great reflections. But also, I was being sort of a shithead that summer anyway, and sort of wiped my slate clean when they thought I was going to die. And so then I was kind of like, back in everybody's good graces,
Yeah, how are you being a shithead?
Well, Okay, so for example, I was living with my ex-boyfriend and his family in their summer home, which is like, I should be so grateful, right?
Yeah.
But like they had kids that were always there, and
Yeah.
they were always knocking on the door.
You were very weirded out that they had fish that they were cooking.
They were catching the fish and then cooking the fish, but they would leave the bones in the fish, and they would use their teeth to scrape the fish off the bones. I mean, there was a lot of stuff like that where I was kind of not being as maybe grateful as I should have. I was hiding from the children. I was basically just ignoring my boyfriend and using his money and his resources to have a nice summer by myself. And so that wasn't my karma, my chi. I wasn't in alignment, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Crashed the car though, and
Yeah.
everyone's grateful that I'm alive, that I'm there. Felt bad about the car. They had to buy another car. But
Yeah, that's not the worst. That's not the worst.
But it was a
thing.
better car.
It was a better car. It's not the worst
Got a
thing ever.
Volvo.
That's very nice. So you're always wearing high-waisted pants.
Oh, I must.
Why?
Well, I don't work out.
Mm-hmm.
So while I am a thin person, I have really fat legs. They're fat to the point of like it looks like my leg is melting off of my bone a little bit. I could take my pants off and show you, but yeah, it's just like full cellulite legs. And actually, I think it's to the point where my thighs are actually wider than my hips.
Uh-huh.
So really high-waisted jeans kind of streamlines the whole thing. Like, oh, she's got like a curvy, like, oh, a tiny waist. And like these just, so I think maybe they're not looking as much as the like thigh to hip proportion. They can just go, what a small waist, and sort of then not pay attention otherwise. Because if you look at my legs, I mean, they're incredibly dumpy. I have like a big ass, really big ass, but it's not like I don't work out. So it's kind of like a flat big ass. But again, like a high-waisted jean, if you pull your ass up and in, they kind of stay there, you know? So it's like instead of getting an ass bra, you just get high-waisted jeans, tuck it up.
Yeah, ass bra. People, do they actually do that?
I tried it on once.
You tried
I
it.
tried it.
See, but like if it works and somebody like wants to hook up and you get naked and you have an ass bra on, what are you supposed to do?
100% my thought. I thought, well, this is just, how could I be? It's one thing to wear a padded bra, which I think is sort of like, I think it's more common. You know?
I 100% do that.
Oh, me too. I mean, I wouldn't.
Like
and also
100%.
just clothes fit better. Like
Yeah,
sometimes
they do.
When your boobs are like just a little bit rounder.
Yeah, my boobs are so small and like I wouldn't be able to fit into anything.
Right, like you have a great shape on TV, you know, but like I think ass is a little bit more of a lie. I really do.
Yeah, I really do.
I think it's kind of like if you take your spandex off and your ass comes off with it, then it's like, whoa. You thought you were signing up for something very different.
Very different.
I have no shame about being like, by the way, this is a padded bra. But if I was like, by the way, this is not my ass, I would feel really weird.
Yeah, well, like I feel that way if I'm ever like in a situation where like someone comes up to me, I go home with someone, or even like it's the end of the night in any capacity, even if it's just hanging out, I gotta take out my weave. Because you like can't lay down with that on and have it be comfortable.
How does it stick in? Is it?
It's clips. I mean, I don't have it in right now. I forgot it and I have to go to work later, so I have to.
She looks like a scrub.
I do. I have to clip it back in. So like I just always talk about on this podcast and everywhere. I'm like, people are like, you have beautiful hair. I'm like, I don't know whose hair this is, but it is not my hair.
That's so awesome.
My real hair is very short. It's like garbage hair.
Well, but you had a great joke about that.
Yeah, it was just like, it doesn't matter because like dudes can't tell if you have shitty hair.
No man has ever been like
yeah, I know. He's like, oh, the hair on the girl I fucked last night, like
beautiful sheen.
the sheen, bro. Like, I kind of want to fuck that girl, but her hair is like no volume, bro. Like, I did fine before the weave,
right.
But it makes me feel like a fucking mermaid.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
beautiful.
I can't wait to get a weave.
It's so
wait.
good. It's hard to put in on your own. I mean, I love that I have people to help me with that.
Oh, you made it. That's making it. If you have someone to do your hair and makeup, you're done.
And fake eyelashes, so I still have mine on from yesterday. I try to leave them on as long as possible because now it's to the point where if I don't have fake eyelashes on, I'll look in the mirror and I'm like, you're grotesque.
Right. Oh no, it's like you get used to these standards of beauty,
yeah,
and then you're just like, who is that?
But I used to walk around looking like garbage and not care.
Well, garbage is a tough word. I would say more like maybe just like a homeless person, like a white, like a pixie homeless person.
Yeah, I really didn't care.
She was very like sort of ghostly,
Yeah.
And you went through a phase where you were very swagged out. I really don't even know. You were swagged out. When I met Kat, she was living in like the hoodest hood of DC.
I know.
And she was a real, like, I don't even know the right word, like, she real scrappy.
I was very
real
scrappy.
She was like tweeting at McDonald's. Her first big break is she started tweeting at McDonald's because she was going and eating McDonald's breakfast every day, and then they started responding to her.
I can't believe I used to even eat McDonald's
every day, dude.
I ate it like every day.
You were the McDonald's.
I was the
gal.
McDonald's gal, and now
Totally.
I never would touch that in my life. I mean, I'm sure I'll eat it again before I die, but like this morning, I'm going to cycling, and I'm getting like I'm getting like yogurt and berries.
You're wild. You're a totally different person. Although I will say I went the other way. Like I think when you met me, I was like living in like
you were green juice.
I was green juice. I had like a penthouse apartment with like a pool on the roof. And
yeah, you did.
Now I only shop at Marshall's. It's all I can afford. And granted, I don't afford. I literally just overdraft every day. But I go to Marshall's and I eat McDonald's. When I'm on the road, I use it as like, well, I'm on the road.
Yeah.
I'm on McDonald's. And then I'm, I don't have a home. So like I'm kind of always on the road.
When I'm on the road for speeches, I use it as, well, food isn't easily accessible, so I'm gonna not eat.
Oh my God. Yeah, no,
great.
I'm like, I will have all the McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get sick and then I have, some issues.
Yeah, I mean,
McDonald's is disgusting.
it really is gross.
Why does it taste so good? It does taste
It
so
does
good.
taste really good.
The nuggets.
The nuggets.
What are they?
That's not clear. That's really not clear.
It's really not clear, but it's so good.
So, I mean, how much life coaching are you doing these days?
Well, so I am life coaching. I'm doing less and less and less. I got to a point, I had a bad breakup from a life coaching community, and it really disenchanted me from the industry. So the reason I have no money is because I actually am still coaching quite a bit, but for the most part, I'm just coaching people for free, and I'm just doing like pay what you can, because I used to be really expensive. So I used to charge like $1,000 a month, or my groups were like $500 a month. And little by little, I've devalued my services more and more. But a lot of the people that have been coming to me to work with me, I don't know, it just seems like they actually need support. And I feel like I can't charge $1,000 a month to a suffering, struggling artist. Like, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah,
so,
but money is important.
I know. Well, that's the whole thing. I need another opportunity. I'm trying to manifest another opportunity so that I can... I think I'm a life coach by personality. Like, I think it's just sort of, even before I was ever a life coach, you knew me before I was a life coach. I was still a life coach.
I would just assault you with my problems. I still do.
I think I've gotten better about it, but it's just who I am. People come to me with their problems all the time. When I was in college, I used to have office hours. There were all of these people, specifically some people who were, and I mean this with no disrespect, but like definitely like autism or Asperger's in some way. They would come. I had to literally put on my room like office hours these times because they would come into the dorm room without knocking. I would wake up and turn my head. I had a lofted bed, and I remember there was this one woman, I won't tell her name, but I would just wake up and her eyes would be like eye line to mine. She's really tall, and she'd be like, "Oh, hi, sir. I just had a question. I have a date in 2 days, and I wanted to ask you about what to do." And I was like, I'd be like, "Mary, it's fucking 3 a.m. You can't just come in here." I would be like on my computer, and then I would shift my mirror a little bit, and she would just be standing behind me like, "Oh, hi, whenever you're free, I needed your help on something." And I was just like, "Okay, hi." So it's been just sort of a calling.
Yeah.
I'm reluctant. I'm a reluctant life coach.
You're also just like so good at getting people to like you. Like, I remember when we were all at a show, a comedy show, and my mom told me after the show, she's like, "Kat, like, you'll notice, you know how Sarah, during other people's sets, she watches them."
Well, what's really fun too is like I'm not even watching. I'm just doing like the active listening motions.
Yeah.
So I'm like leaned in, and I'm nodding.
Yeah.
And when people laugh, I laugh. Really, I'm thinking about my own material.
I'm like on my
own
phone
shit.
with a beer.
Kat's on the phone.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Hi, hang on, I'll take this outside." So it's like, right, I'm better. I think I'm better at being nice in the world, like appearing to be nice in the world. But I will say
be such a bitch.
You seem to, but actually I would say that you are an extremely honest person.
Yes.
And you've affected me a lot in that way where I think when we first met, it was probably been like 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
I was way phonier, so like now I don't even know if I would kindly active listen, I think I've become more real
it gets so bad. Sometimes comedy's just so bad.
Comedy's
And when it's bad, it's like really bad.
Well, and it's hard too because like I love performing, I love stand up, I love comedy, but it's a little bit. It's man, there's just so much of it now.
Right.
Everyone's a comedian. Netflix is oversaturated with specials, and it is really fucking boring.
Yeah.
At a certain point, and then it's like as a comic, it's like, well, okay, well, I want to be different. I want to say something interesting and unique, but it's like, well, you know, do you need another Jewish female in New York talking about being Jewish and female and in New York? Like, I just don't know if I'm that interesting anymore, you know? Or like, just because I'm funny doesn't really mean anything. It's like I actually have to have like, and the life coaching is one thing, but actually, funny enough, people hate life coaching.
Yes.
And I think part of why I even stopped charging is because of all the peer pressure. All my friends were just like, you know, you're a thief, you're
You're
robber.
stealing these people's money to tell them to smoke weed and have sex with toxic men.
Totally. Well, I'm just saying, you know, live your journey. If it includes toxic men, that's fine. That's fine. But, right, it's a little bit like, you know, I felt a little bit just, I don't know. I felt weird taking, I would rather like a corporation gave me money or someone who has a lot of money wants to support me in helping other people. Like, I don't feel like taking individuals' money anymore. I
remember like the last time you were truly single and you had that incident where you like give that guy his sweatshirt back or whatever.
Oh, but I got pen all over it. I destroyed his sweatshirt with pen.
You told me one of the funniest things I've ever heard, which is that you like, cause I was like how like I don't like, I'm not into the one night stand. I don't like it. You like it because you like to like go home with them and look through their shit in their apartments.
Yeah, I do. No. I've actually been talking about this a lot in therapy. So, because this was a big issue in my last relationship we've been breaking up for 3 years. One of the big issues was privacy and respect and boundaries. So I guess 3 big issues. But so I'm a bit of a stalker.
Yes.
And it's gotten really bad. And I've been really beating myself up about it. But in this I would say I'm at a rock bottom in a lot of ways. I'm 30. I'm now living at home in my mom's illegal doggy daycare. And a lot of things are coming to light just about my family. My mom's a stalker. My mom's a big time. I was raised in a pro-stalk household. And I'm having to reteach them that stalking is not love. But stalking, snooping, that was all part of mother love. So, I mean, like one time my mom went through my brother's IMs. That's how we all found out about his first hand job. You know.
So what, you all found out?
Well, because she had to ask everybody how to handle it. So it was like, Sara, you're never going to guess what I found. Luke got a hand job from Tony. What do I do? And it was like, how do you know that? And she's like, I read his IM. And it's like, why did you read his IM? She's like, oh, I went on the computer and I read his IM. And I was like, oh my God. I'm like, well, don't say anything to him, you know? And she's like, okay.
Yeah.
So then, like, we're all sitting as if my brother, my dad, my mom, and I were sitting. I'll never forget this. Luke was maybe in the 6th grade, and he's going out to leave the house. Beep, beep. You know, someone honks outside. He comes downstairs. My mom's like, he's about to leave. Luke! She's like, what? Is there something you want to tell us? And he's like, no. She's like, isn't there someone new in the picture? You know, he's in 6th grade. He's like, no. She's like, did you get a hand job from someone named Tony? And he's like, what? And then the funniest part is that she totally lied. So then he's like, how do you know that? And she said, so there's a sort of a know-it-all that lives across the street. She said, Bunny Flanders.
Yeah.
So she just threw some woman who was gossipy under the... Bunny Flanders told me. Bunny Flanders knows about my hand job from Tony? My mom said, it's okay. And then I think it was like, you know, it's okay if you're gay. And Luke's like, Tony's a girl. And he like fell to the floor weeping. Tony's a girl. It's a girl's name. And Mom's like, oh, that's fine. Oh, that's great. That's fine. My mom thought my dad was having an affair last year. He wasn't. I thought it was very romantic that she even thought he was having an affair just because he's not affair material, I'll tell you. But she stalking him so intensely. And she's very dyslexic and she doesn't even take the time to read. Doesn't even try. So while she was stalking him online, she actually ended up changing her name on Facebook to Andrew Armour So for 90 days, because you can't change it for 90 days, there were 2 Andrew Armours on Facebook. One of them was my dad. The other one was blocked by my dad, and it was like love and light and like a picture of a palm tree and a dog with his, with like beechwood in his mouth, driftwood in his mouth. And it was also Andrew Armour. And then there was like parenthesis, like Myra Armour.
Well, yeah, your mom runs an illegal doggy daycare out of the house you're squatting in.
Yeah, so we were evicted. We were evicted in 2008. Like the bank lost the paperwork or something. So they've been living there in our home.
And you're now back there living there.
Now I'm living there. And everybody works at home. It's like a WeWork.
Yeah.
With unsuccessful people. But the family has survived. My mother has become the doggy daycare in Montclair, New Jersey. So she's now like the chicest doggy daycare, and it's this beautiful home. But yeah, we technically could be evicted like tomorrow, any day.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A little stressful.
Yeah, back to like the stalk. I mean, you really like stalking. I mean, like I'll look into stuff. I guess not really. I just like am the type that I don't want to know.
Right. So I'm now on that. So that's there was a very, we'll talk about the moon, but there was a very intense Aquarius full moon last month.
Mm-hmm.
And on that full moon, and I haven't been perfect, but on that full moon, I was like, okay, I'm actually letting this behavior go. Like, I'm not going to, because what happens when you start stalking, specifically when you're stalking an on again, off again lover, is you read into all of their online behavior so much.
Yeah.
So, like, if he would follow someone on Instagram at like 3 a.m, I would know that that's who he fucked. Or I would know that, like, that's who he hung out with. So then I would go into the rabbit hole of who that woman is. Not only would I compare myself and feel horrible about it, but then I would attack him with things I hated about her.
Uh-huh.
I happen to be an excellent writer, and I've been a life coach for so long. So I'm writing these like 3-page character assassinations of these people that he doesn't even really know. And I was just wasting a lot of time.
You were wasting so much time.
Well, you were such a good friend. You kept being so gentle about it. You'd be like, you might just like be happier if you like just stop doing it. And I'd be like, well,
we only have so much energy to expend.
That's what you kept saying.
Yeah, that's not a good use of your energy.
Well, and he made a good point. He said, we bleep out his name, I guess. Who fucking cares? He's not going to listen. But he would just be like, babe, I'm not your writing prompt.
Yeah, did you say I'm not your journal?
He'd say, I'm not your journal. I'm not your writing prompt. Please stop using me like I give a fuck about what you think about this girl that I had a one-night stand with. Or that I didn't even... He would meet some girl at a bar, and then, you're standing at a bar, okay, you follow me, I follow you, right?
Yeah.
It'd be someone that he's, like, doesn't even know, like, never really met. They met one time. Then I'm like, oh, how's Carolyn? And he's going like, who? And I'm like, oh, Carolyn, the frumpy Israeli from Idaho, who's now a photographer in Bushwick. And
so you would do all the research. You would spend hours doing the research and then bring it up.
Oh,
so sometimes, because I know he admits it when he does.
Oh, he's never lied to me about a thing. Yeah, it's devastating. I know everything.
Yeah,
but only because I ask. We have a don't ask, don't tell policy that I completely.
I have a don't. I prefer the don't ask, don't tell, and I love it.
I'm now into it, but before I was, you know why? Because I wasn't really sleeping with other people, even though technically we've been like, it's really not. We're in an open relationship this whole time, and then at the times where I can't handle it, we break up. Is actually sort of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
We've been in an open relationship, and what I forgot, and then now I'm fucking again. But when I wasn't, I forgot how like not a big deal it is.
Right.
And so I was taking it so personally. If he would like, be on the road or do something and just like meet someone, and then he would come home and I would be like, did you fuck anybody? And he'd be like, do you really want to know? And I'd be like, yeah. And then he would tell me, and then I'd be like, and now he's in love with her. And it's like, whoa.
No.
Now that I've had another peanut inside of me, I'm like, oh, this is nothing. I'm like, oh, this is. If you love someone, sex is incredible and sex is very intimate. But if you don't, it's just sex.
Yeah,
it's just like some fun energy.
Yeah, it's just like whatever.
It's
and you're drunk. You're often drunk.
Totally.
And
it's just like
you kind of can't wait to go home and order food.
Right. It's like not actually like romantic or intimate or sexy at all. I mean, sometimes it can be, but it's like I was just going. Well, what was the word you used? It was perfect.
You
said I was. Oh my God, it's on my tongue. Oh,
I don't know what you're. Catastrophizing.
I mean, in spelling,
it's a therapist word. Yeah,
I was catastrophizing.
Yeah,
I would message him. I would send you a screenshot of a girl like, is she prettier than me? Or like, I'm gonna fight this bitch, and you'd be like, whoa, like, just chill.
You're like, should I harass her? And I was like, the answer's always no.
Well, I do. I did harass a lot of them, and then it got to the point where one of them was like, should we call the cops on this girl? And I was like, all right, I've gone.
What did you do to make her want to call the cops?
I liked all of her Instagram photos of her and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then I unliked them. And then when she asked my partner about it, and he asked me to not talk to her anymore, I re-liked them. And then she blocked me. But then she was fucking with me at that point. So I went on, this is really bad. I went on. So I run a show. Kat's going to be on my show next week.
Yeah.
I run a show. So I started doing the same thing from my show account. Which is really bad. God. It's also a spiritual show. It's a spiritual show. So I started liking. So she's getting tweets from the Moonual that the Moonual is liking all of her shit.
That's
crazy.
That's absolutely.
Bad branding, bad PR.
I would be very, very scared, especially because it's in the whole. I'm doing the show. That's right. It's on the 14th.
It's on the 14th. It's going to be so great.
So I would. Isn't it supposed to be about like letting things go?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the opposite branding that you're looking for.
We teach what we're here to learn. I'm on a journey too, Kat, and I'm learning to let go, but it's been a struggle.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but it's really literally like the opposite of what the show is about. The show is about letting go. It's about releasing things and not like hanging on to these really painful attachments. And yet, sometimes, what is that though? Why is it so hard to? I mean, it really comes down to like self-love, honestly. Why is it so hard to not do things that hurt yourself?
I don't know.
It really is.
It is. It absolutely is. I mean, like you've done a decent amount of like hiding in the bushes.
Oh, well, that was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I one time thought he was out with someone and he didn't text me back when I said like, should I come over? And so I went and I hid in his bushes to try to see if he came home with someone, and he didn't, but he did catch me in the bushes. But at that point we were in a different place and he thought it was so hot that I was so crazy. So we had, I think we got back together that night. I think he was like, you would hide in the bushes from me, so it just depends on what's going on in everybody's lives. But also he and I have been together for such a long time that we've, all of us met like, struggling artists in DC, all came to New York. So it's been this really long journey. Everyone's had so many different phases. I mean, I was a cult leader for a while with a lot of money that now I'm living at the doggy daycare. Before I was like Arlington Peach, I had severe dental work. I mean, we're evolving right before each other's eyes. And a lot of times it gets really embarrassing.
It really does.
When you really see people's worst behavior and you still like them, well, then you're really friends.
Yeah, remember when my ex wouldn't talk to me? And remember I started sending him the black Santa emoji every day at the same time?
I told you to. I said,
she's the one who told me to do that.
Keep sending it. I said, reach out every single day. Kat's like, I think I should just let it go. I'm like, no.
The thing is like, I didn't even really care at that point. I was already over it. I was like already involved with other guys at that point.
It was more of a like,
it was just more, dude? It became funny to me at a point to just be like.
Well, I think there's something, I don't know if I think there's anything more rude than ghosting.
It's very rude.
It is so
I love
mean.
to do it for a couple days sometimes, like, but it's not even like me being mean. It's like sometimes I really am so mad that I can't talk to you because I will make an ass of myself and I'll say things that I don't mean, and I think that's okay.
Well, that's a very like responsible approach because I never do that, and I always say what I don't mean, and then I have to spend a lot of time cleaning up. So I think that's ghosting with.
But it's
intention.
not like ghosting. Like
it's more like
I'll do like
space.
A day or two, but I won't really say that that's what I'm doing because I just can't. Because if I explain it, then I'll be like, how do I explain it? And then I'll be explaining it in a way that's mad.
Well, and then you're in the fight. Then you're doing the thing that you wanted to avoid doing. And if you're anything, or if your partners are anything like me, because you're more like the people that I date, right?
Yes,
so, like,
I
you're
am.
more like my ex. Whereas I'm more
current
like
partner.
Right. We're I don't know. We're going to break up. I don't know. We're going to be doing this forever, I think.
Yes,
I think he's my twin flame. I think we're here to teach each other how to be functional. And we actually are, we grow together, even though it's been quite a mess.
Yeah.
But I love him. What are you going to do, But so, but you and him are similar, actually, as people. And you're like the kind of people I attract as friends, and I'm sort of the other. Like, I'm more like a lot of your exes, actually.
Yeah, you are.
I'm really like, even though I'm really sharing a lot of my psycho right now, but I'm also like really kind and loving and gentle, unless you fuck with me, and then I'll fucking fuck your life up. But like, I actually am like a being of love when I'm in like a really good mood,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of danger in saying to someone, now I'm really dysfunctional. I'm really hearing myself. Listen, everybody, I know, okay? I know, we're okay. When you say to someone, I just need some space, Like whenever my partner has said to me, I just need some space, it doesn't even, that's like,
You're just like, nah.
no, no, you don't get to take space. Like, so it's like, when he doesn't respond, then it's kind of not fun. If somebody actually pivots away from you and you keep fighting, you end up just punching your fists into a brick wall and then you're bleeding and no one gives a fuck, right? But if you actually have someone responding, even if they're trying to be respectful and trying to say, hey, I don't want to talk about this right now, I'm upset, or like, hey, I need some space, it's like, are you kidding? What do you mean you want space? I'm upset.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember one time I was like, how many times you texted him? And you were like, none, I'm emailing him.
Oh, well, because he had blocked me. Dude, I have an email address that's forgivesara@gmail.com because he blocked all of my other accounts at one point. I'm not kidding. I have lost my fucking marbles, you guys. Good dick will fuck you up is the truth. Good dick will fuck you up. Good dick mixed with like the love is like deadly. It brought out the worst in me. I'm not okay mentally, but I'm having a great time.
ForgiveSara@gmail.com.
ForgiveSara@gmail.com. You can all email me your embarrassing stories, and we'll read them out loud on the air. Now that I think I'm going to be a permanent co-host. So, Kat hasn't said anything, but I can just tell from how well this is going that this is my calling. And
but he's never blocked ForgiveSara. What'd you do? What would you do? ForgiveSara2@gmail.com. Like,
I want stoppable, Kat.
I know you.
Some women don't take rejection well. I don't even allow it. I don't even
accept
acknowledge it. No one's gonna reject me.
Like
kidding?
when my ex wasn't talking to me, you were like, "You go there now," and
I was like, "Go to his house." I said, "Go to his house and
Yeah.
wait outside." Well, I've done that. I mean, that's been a big part.
and
of
I was
my
like,
life.
"I don't really want to."
I've been doing this. I remember my first bad breakup. It's not even a bad breakup. It was a breakup, but for me, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was very hard. So I got brokenhearted really bad junior year of high school. And I made a pretty daily habit of, granted, I was driving a Honda Pilot at the time, which is like an enormous car, okay?
Right.
But I would first drive around town and try to find him, listening to Michelle Branch and crying. So I would be Michelle Branch crying all around town. Then when it got like to sundown, I would turn all my lights off and I would get silent and I would slow drive down his street and I would park like a few houses away and I would lean the seat all the way back. So I was like kind of like pretending there was no one in the car and I would just watch his house and he had this window that was by his computer where I always used to suck his dick. And I was just waiting by the window to see if there was someone in there sucking his dick. Like I was just dying to know. Like
So you did that every night? How many nights did you do this?
I did a lot, yeah. Did it a lot. Wasted a lot of time.
Did you ever find somebody?
No. I did not.
Were you ever what were you like hoping for? So like what, you did see someone sucking his dick. What are you gonna do, bust in there?
Well, he had a new girlfriend. So I think I really only did it for like 2 weeks and then he had a new girlfriend. And she had just moved. I basically threatened all the women in my school. Don't talk. They knew not to talk to him out, and then this girl moved to town and so we like immediately started dating her because he was like finally someone that's not like Queen Sarah doesn't. I don't even know who the fuck I thought I was, but I was just like, everybody knows he's mine.
I'm scared of you a little.
Well, I don't know. I have like a lot of charisma. I don't know. Because I'm a little unhinged, I guess.
Yeah.
Secretly. But now, here we are, Barstool. I'm nuts. But so, I would want to find out who was sucking his dick. And then I think I just wanted to, I don't know, just fight a bitch. I don't know. I just wanted to hurt. I don't know. It was like emotional cutting almost, It's like instead of binge drinking or cutting myself, I would just be like, reject, like he doesn't love me. I'm not lovable. Like, something about that was just, I don't know. I read an Erykah Badu quote in The Cut. Shout out to The Cut at The Cut. I don't even know what it is. It's like a fashion.
Yeah, I don't really know. It's not
they
really
did a whole thing on like celebrities on breakups. Well, I'm only been researching breakups for the last 3 years. So, Erykah Badu had a great quote though, and it was something like it was like advice for people going through breakups. And Erykah Badu was like, I'm gonna botch it, but it was something like, when you're going through the breakup, just go through it and do all the crazy things and do everything to win your love back. Eventually, you will get tired.
Yeah,
and that's really it. I think my attitude about dating and with everything I do really is like, fight for it. Like, fight for whatever it is that you really fucking care about. And if it's meant to be, it will be. And if it's not, at least you tried. I think the worst thing is that feeling. And I've had a few of those things where like you bail, or you don't actually finish what you started, or you get too scared or you don't. You just like, I would much rather go all in and be wrong, but have experienced the full sort of like birth and death than just like kind of go halfway and then never know. Like that's
but this particular dude, you guys are never going to be done.
I don't think so. I think we're on a journey.
I've seen like it's just never going to be over.
Well, because we are actually
twin flames.
We're twin flames. We were born in the same soul, and we split at birth, and now we're here to mirror each other so that we hate each other and ourselves enough to grow. And we actually do grow. I will say, we do grow.
All right, so
he does. I think I'm way worse off. Actually.
So eyebrows.
Eyebrows.
So Glossier is an NYC-based beauty brand, and it's getting a lot of attention because of its unique skin first, makeup second approach to beauty. It's great, beautiful, glowy skin, plus everyday makeup to enhance what you've already got. Eyebrow kits can be very complicated. This has just got a 4-step brow routine. It's the only product you'll ever need for thicker, fuller, more naturally groomed looking eyebrows. Unlike eyebrow gels or mascara, Boy Brow's creamy wax formula gives you a soft, flexible hold that will never feel crunchy or stiff. You don't want crunchy eyebrows ever. It's a makeup product you use every day. It's a quick, easy way to frame your face and look more polished. When you don't feel like wearing anything else, at least your brows will be crushing it. And you don't even need to know what you're doing because Boy Brow is super easy. You just brush your brows into a shape using the tiny mascara-like brush. Comes in 3 subtle shades that work on everyone, blonde, brown, and black. And it's only $16. So, and you can also, if that's not good enough, you can get 20% off your first purchase. You visit www.glossier.com. It's GLOSSIER.com. Use the promo code KAT, K-A-T, as in me, to upgrade your beauty routine.
I got a lot of questions about that. I got a lot of questions about what you just read. Why is it called Boy Brow?
I don't know.
It's for women?
Yeah. It's for everybody with eyebrows.
This is the patriarchy. Boy brow?
I don't know.
Why isn't it girl brow?
I don't know.
What do you feel about the brow trend?
I don't do anything to them, but sometimes people do things to them before I go on TV.
I have never done anything to my eyebrows, and
like I've never plucked them. No one's ever plucked them. So,
Yeah, well, you have a good shape actually.
Thank you.
But I can't believe there's such a thing. And
some people have really insane eyebrows.
Well, some are great, and it's like, oh, your face looks great with all that hair on your face. And some, you're like, you need to handle that. Like, I do understand if you have a lot of hair on your face to manage it, for sure. I mean, I more have, like, jowl, like, one piece of hair coming off my chin. So
really? That happens?
Oh, yeah. Went to get my mustache threaded the other day. I don't know.
What is threading? I don't know what threading is.
I have no idea. Basically, it's like, I honestly, I've asked this a few times because it seems like magic. They, like, take a string, and then they put the string on your face, like and like it pulls your hair out like one hair at a time. And apparently it's better for your skin than waxing. I stopped doing it because it took too long, and because I've gone in a few times to get threaded. More than once, they've been like, whole face. I'm like, what do you mean whole face? Like, I'm not like,
You don't have like a monkey monster face,
right? And then she's like, oh, just like fuzz on the cheeks, and I'm like, oh man, like I've never even noticed the fuzz on my cheeks.
So do you wax your mustache?
Now I do, yeah.
Yeah. What would it look like if you stopped doing that?
And
I'm blonde, so I don't know.
Well, for those of you who haven't stalked me yet and Googled me yet, I'm a Jew, and I look like a Jew, and I have dark features. But I have sort of light skin, but I have dark features. So when I don't touch my mustache, I had a gay boyfriend for a while who didn't mind it.
Yeah,
that was kind of nice.
Interesting.
It just looks, you really only can tell when it's like hot and it glistens in the sun a bit.
Sorry, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I have a little mustache that glistens in the sun, but it's, it's never that bad. What it really is that like, if I don't do it, like I notice it.
Does it get stubble?
No, it's like eyebrows. It's like, when you get your eyebrows done, it's not ever as thick as eyebrows. Hold on, I actually haven't done. Hold on. So, for you at home, I'm gonna have Kat touch my mustache now.
All right, yeah. I haven't done it in a long time. I can't feel anything. I don't know what I'm telling you. Oh my God, ew. What are you doing? I can't really.
No,
I don't know.
It's a thin week, but there is a little. I can feel it, and there's some fuzz there. The one time my twin flame, He's gonna be so mad that I'm even calling that on the internet.
He
Okay.
won't listen.
He
Or
would
if
not.
he will, then I think you'd be happy
No,
about it.
He's very anti-internet right now, so
Yeah.
I think I feel very free. But he one time he was like being really, really loving and saying like I don't mind like any of your body hair. Like I think it's so sexy. Like sometimes when you know, like even if you don't shave your underarms, I would never not shave my underarms. I just want to say I'm not into like that. But you know, I do have like a, you know, pubic hair to my knees. But
Interesting.
I will, you know, shave my underarms. But he'll be like, I don't even care. He's like, the only hair I really like am bothered by is your mustache. And I was like, wait, what?
So you have like a full bush going on.
Oh yes.
When's the last time you shaved that?
Years?
Honestly,
Kat, my vagina, it looks like, I guess, just like if you were far away, like I would say boy shorts, like a black bikini bottom.
What?
No, maybe that's exaggerated. It's just like a bikini bottom, but it's full head of hair. Like could be a boy, like could be like, yeah, it just could be somebody's. Like I could be on someone's neck, you know, and I actually feel more comfortable with it like that. First of all, I just feel very like womanly and sexy, and now that I'm 30, even though I'm unemployed and living at home and overdrafted, it does make me feel like
bush,
a woman.
like a woman.
I could be a mom. I could be. I am fertile, you know. But also, okay, so when I have, this is personal. When I have waxed or shaved, I can't believe what my vagina looks like.
Yeah.
I can't believe when I'm sitting and I have no hair. Oprah recommended a few years ago doing mirror work with your vagina, so I was doing that for a while, talking to it, saying hello, giving it your attention.
You've never done that?
Love. It's great,
Mm-hmm.
but shocking.
Yeah.
Remember, I used to have that joke about it. Oh my god, that was one of my first jokes because it looked like a bulldog face. It looked like It looks like an old angry man. It fold my lips fold over almost like my thighs. I just have a fat vagina, and when I see it in real life, it doesn't even. I don't recognize myself. I'm shocked.
But your giant bush covers it up.
Yeah, no hair. It's just like a vagina. But I mean, with hair, it's a vagina. Without hair, it looks just like. I don't even know. It's like mountains. It's like I hate it.
Like how many folds are you talking about?
Folds on folds on folds, Kat. It's like you know when there are those really really fat babies with their thighs like rolling over each other.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like if I'm seated and I look at my vagina shaved. It looks like just literally.
Yeah.
A bulldog face. So right now, for the viewers at home, I'm actually pushing my cheeks into my lips, and it's like this. Like my nose would be the clit.
Yeah.
And then there's fat cheeks.
And I feel like you used to be insecure about that, but now you're not.
Because I don't shave anymore. I don't even recognize it as a part of my life anymore. Now I'm like all hair. And if you don't like it, then we're not going to work.
I support that. I feel like that's fine. Like if any dude was ever like, oh, like whatever, like I would not, like why would you want to have sex with that person anyways?
If you don't want to go down on me, maybe I'll like trim up the part that would get in your way. But trust me, guys, I'm doing you a favor. You don't want to see my fat labia. It is alarming.
Alarming.
It is too fat.
What age does that happen?
Oh God, it feels like birth. I mean, I think I've always known that I've had a really heavy vagina. I used to, when I was sitting on the toilet when I was young, before I ever had any hair, I used to squeeze like the lower part of my stomach and think it looked like a cowboy hat. Like I remember that was very funny to me. It was like middle school when I started noticing other vaginas in locker rooms and thinking, oh my God. Some women, like my college roommate, had just like, it was like a Barbie. It was like just like perfect. And then it was like, zip. And it was like this little, like just little credit card slot that it was just like looked so dainty and pretty and clean. And I just felt like mine was like it looked like I had 2 births by the time I was 13.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
No, it's totally fine. It's all good.
It's too much. Like, is this what Barstool listeners like?
I mean, we're just
riffing.
We're just kind of riffing, which I kind of knew that we would. I don't know, man. Like, what are you doing tonight? What's going on?
Well, so I have a date.
You have a date?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. With that dude?
With the dude. But
That's
he's
wonderful.
a college student.
Yeah.
I feel a little bit weird about that.
That's okay.
But it's like I actually am still in love with my ex, so I think it's fine to just have like a kind of like a pool boy.
And also, your ex isn't really your ex.
Well, but
he is.
But he is. You know, he fucks people.
Yeah. That's good.
And he's not like, he is my ex because I actually, you know, I think what the problem is, and you tell me, But I think a lot of modern dating, because we're so attached to our phones and we're so attached to the internet and just this sort of fake but constant communication, or not fake, but it's like slightly disconnected. Like you and I can be in a text conversation and like
For hours.
and then I could not respond for a day and then pick it right back up, right?
Yeah.
But as friends, that's like normal.
Yes.
Right? And we're like, I don't think that we're going to lose each other because one of us doesn't respond to a text message, right? Like, we're okay. I think when we are all in with a guy, or for me, when I'm like all in with one guy, and then I get used to like that kind of communicating, and then it becomes too much, I just want to be sometimes I want to be constantly communicating, but if you only have one person to constantly communicate with,
it's overwhelming.
They want to murder you. It's overwhelming. It's annoying. And then it's not sexy. There's nothing sexy about being constantly available to someone. There's nothing sexy about constantly sharing all of your thoughts and feelings with one person. So I actually see the value of having just like kind of a few guys you're dating, and like what it is, like we're not broken up, like, but now we're just like dating. We're like people who date, and we like go on dates and we hang out, and then we do our own thing. And like, you know, I haven't talked to him today. Like when we were dating, I would have woken up and been like, good morning, sunshine. I mean, we lived together.
Right.
You know, so it's like, actually just, I think I think creating balance and dating multiple people, at least for a period of time, is great, because I just need way more attention, I think, than one person can give me, for me to just feel like satisfied.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really needy.
That's okay though. We gotta like wrap. You have life coaching.
Oh yeah, I have a life. I have a client at 3.
So is there anything you want? I mean, promote the moon. You
okay,
will.
Listen, you guys. This is very, very serious. Ladies, this is for different advertisements for men and women.
Yes.
Ladies, you need to come to the Moon Yule, because here's the bottom line. We act crazy sometimes, and the moon is actually our feminine icon, right? The moon is on a 28-day cycle just like us. And if we start to actually, I'm not even kidding, I've gotten way less crazy. A lot of the stories I shared are pre-moon rituals, okay? So I've started doing monthly moon rituals on the new moon and the full moon. And it's actually been really grounding for me, because if you use it as a practice to be intentional, set your goals for the month, and then at the full moon, release the stuff that isn't working, the emotional stuff, the stalking, the money stuff, whatever limiting beliefs you have. Actually, if you do that every month as a pattern, it's really healthy, and your life does start to transform, even though mine actually has gone backwards. But I think, you got to go, the darkest storm is always before the sunrise. Or I read a meme. Okay, so men, I need to get more men at these shows, because here's the thing. It's like a meat market. It's all single women.
Yeah, that's true.
It's all single women, like, feeling very vulnerable and happy, but like, we do like some journaling if you want to, where you can sort of express yourself and get stuff out that you want to just like get out and burn. And these women are dope and spiritual and drinking. We have great drink specials.
Yeah.
Buzzed Aldrin is my favorite drink. What was the other one? I had another funny little name. I had a bunch of funny names. You can get a Neil Armstrong and shot.
All right.
So people are getting drunk, and people are connecting and wanting to connect. And like, I just can't believe there aren't more men there, because it's an audience full of hot 20-something women.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there.
I'll be there. Kat's going to be there. Listen, audience. Is that what you call them?
I don't know.
Listen, listeners. Listen, that's redundant. Barstool. You don't even know. I mean, you do know, but like, you don't even know how funny Kat is. Kat and I became friends because I saw her on stage, and she was such a shining, brilliant star, and she was the only other funny person there. And I literally went over to her table, and I was like, you don't know me, but we're going to be friends. And it was because she was such a talented comedian, and she doesn't do that much comedy anymore, because now she's like a TV star, and now she's like, Barstool drinking Bud Lights in the afternoon. I'm still schlepping it out at the clubs, but let me tell you, this bitch is the funniest comic
Thank you.
I think I've ever seen. And she doesn't even require, everyone else is out there like running their sets. Kat is a natural. She goes, she says what she's going to say. It comes out in joke form, and she's just like a shining star. So if you're a fan of Kat, you're gonna get to see her do comedy and just talk about her life in real life. I don't know if she'll wear a weave or not, but
it depends. I mean, it's on what day of the week. It depends if I'm on camera that day or not.
It's a Wednesday, so we're hoping it's a weave Wednesday, but we're not sure.
Oh God!
Thank you.
All right, thanks everybody.
It's at Caroline's. It's at
Caroline's. Yeah.
On September 14th.
Yep.
At 9.
All right, cool. All right, thanks everybody
Bye.
for listening. We're all gonna die someday. Bye.